Thank you all for dialing in today for our last scheduled telephone conference call in June. We wanted to give this opportunity to provide updates and time for questions. We'll give you some information at the end about where to get information after the call is over. But the key today is to go through some changes, describe those changes, give you an update on things that we've been doing, and provide an opportunity for us to hear from you. As Stephanie mentioned, your lines have been muted so that we can prevent any background noise, and we'll do a Q&A at the end of the call. And once we get the Q&A up, you can ask questions. If you want to send a Q&A on the system, you can do that during the call, and if we have a chance, we'll answer some of the questions that have been submitted on the call itself. Today we're going to talk about our final report or our final update on the review of all the tax returns that we processed that were affected by the 2013 middle class tax cuts. As many of you will recall, that bill was signed on March 21 by Governor Dayton after the legislature passed the 2013 tax cuts bill, and we changed our systems, implemented those changes by April 2nd, so that everyone who filed after April 2nd were able to file with the new tax law changes. So we want to go over the report on that. We also want to review property tax refund changes for renters, homeowners, and farmers, and then we also want to explain the recent problems with the severe weather and flooding, and the Governor Dayton has issued a determination about disaster areas, and so we will give you some more information. Right now, those areas are affected from June 11th through July 22nd, but we want to provide some more details about that. So those are the three main topic areas. Let's first of all go into the 2013 middle class tax cuts. As I mentioned, on March 21, that bill was signed by the governor, and what had happened was the legislature approved tax cuts that more closely aligned the state system with the federal system. Now, many of these changes affected middle-class Minnesotans, and we acted quickly at the department in order to make these changes as fast as we could, and we wanted to make sure that the taxpayers got the benefits of these changes as they were filing. We have completed our processing of all the tax returns that we believe were affected by the 2013 middle-class tax cuts, and we've done it ahead of schedule. Because we were able to implement these changes by April 2nd, over 1.1 million individual income tax returns were filed after the new tax law changes were in effect. So those returns were filed consistent with the new law. But as you recall, all those returns filed before April 2nd we needed to review. And we've completed that review. We identified about 280,000 returns that we believe had been affected by the tax law changes. As you may recall, when we reviewed those returns, one of three things happened. Number one, we adjusted the tax return and we issued a refund if it was due. Number two, we requested more information from the taxpayer, adjusted the tax return if possible, and then we issued a refund if it was due. And then number three, if we could not adjust the tax return, we notified the taxpayer that they needed to file an amended return to get the benefits of the 2013 tax law changes. Now, after completing that review of 280,000 returns ahead of schedule, you should have heard by us today if you were affected by the 2013 tax law changes. If you've not heard from us by today, June 27th, then we believe you were not affected by the 2013 tax law changes. Now, if you believe, on the other hand, that you were affected by one of the 10 2013 tax law changes and you have not received a refund or a letter from us by today, June 27th, then you can contact us by phone at the numbers shown here, 651-296-3781, or there's an 800 number as well, 800-652-9094, or you can email us at individual.incometax@state.mn.us. So the key is that we've completed our review. You should have been notified by now, and if you've not been notified, but you still think you qualify, then you need to contact us. Let's talk now about property tax refunds. The 2014 legislature increased property tax refunds for Minnesota renters and homeowners, and the legislature added a new agricultural homestead credit for farmers. When you add the direct property tax relief or property tax refund increases with the local government aid increases that were made, this last year and in 2013. These measures all help to bring lower property taxes for the state for the first time in over a decade. Now here's what you need to know about the changes to property tax refunds. First, let's talk about renters. Now renters, there's a 6% increase in the refund based upon rent paid in 2013. The maximum refund last year was $1,600, $1,600. The maximum refund this year with the new law is $2,120. The average refund last year was $592, and this year the average refund we estimate will be $643. The number of eligible Minnesotans getting renters refunds last year was about 317,000, and we estimate about 350,000 this year. Now the increase in those affected, or those who qualify for the renter refund, was due to a 2013 tax law changes where we expanded the range of renters who qualified. Now, so who does qualify for a renter's property tax refund? Well, renters qualify for a property tax refund if their total household income for 2013 is less than $57,170. It's important to remember, though, that you need to qualify based on household income. Now, for purposes of the property tax refund, household income includes all the kinds of taxable income that normally are put on a tax return, and also many kinds of non-taxable income are included as well. Some examples of non-taxable income include employer-paid adoption benefits, distributions from a Roth IRA account, and government assistance payments. Those all factor into household income that need to be calculated. So what do you need to do if you're a renter and you qualify? Well, you need to file a refund claim using the Minnesota Department of Revenue Form M1PR. That's M1PR. You can file the return electronically through a tax preparer, or you can use tax preparation software where fees may apply. Or you can mail the paper form M1PR to the Department of Revenue. Now, if you want to get the maximum refund, you have to make sure that you use the correct income when calculating household income. So please refer to the property tax refund instruction booklet. If you're looking online, you can see a copy of the front page that's located on our website for more information about filing for the property tax refunds. So when do you need to file? Well, you can file now. You should use your correct income when calculating household income to ensure you get the maximum credit you're entitled to. And then when will you get your refund? Typically, renters will get their refund 60 days after they file, or mid-August, whichever is later. We will begin releasing refunds on July 15th, so in just a little over 2 weeks we will begin releasing refunds. So how much money might a refund be for a renter? Well, the maximum refund, as I mentioned earlier, this year is $2,120. So let's talk a little bit about homeowners. Homeowners also saw an increase this year. The regular homestead credit refunds, there's a 3% increase to the refund based upon taxes. Now, the maximum refund last year was $2,530, and this year the maximum refund could be $2,657. The average refund last year was $813, and the average refund this year is, we estimate, to be $837. The number of eligible Minnesotans last year was about 380,000, and this year we estimate that number will be about 500,000. Once again, changes that were made last year in 2013 applied to those who qualify in 2014. Who qualifies? Well, any homeowner who qualifies for a property tax refund if their total household income for 2013 is less than $105,500. And again, the same cautions apply to household income. That's determined based both on taxable income and some forms of non-taxable income. So what do you need to do if you're a homeowner and you qualify? Well, you need to file the same form that renters do. That's the Form M1PR. Now, for the homeowners, you can file electronically for free through our website, or you can file electronically through a tax preparer, or you can use tax preparation software where fees may apply. Or you can mail in the paper form, the M1PR, to the Department of Revenue. And again, we caution you to make sure you use the correct the correct household income and calculating your income to make sure you get the maximum credit. One example is if your income tax return was affected by the March 21 tax law changes that I mentioned earlier, you want to make sure you use the updated income information on your homeowner property tax refund claim. There's an updated property tax refund instruction booklet, and you see a copy of it online if you're looking online, and that's available online for anyone who wants to look through it. It's got a lot of information and good Q&As in there to provide additional information. So when do you need to file? Well, you can file now. You should use the correct income and to make sure you get the correct maximum refund. And when will you get your refund? Well, typically homeowners will get their refund 60 days after they file or by September 30th, whichever is later. And once again, the maximum credit that a homeowner can get this year is $2,657. I want to make a comment about some important notes for homeowners and renters. Now, the Minnesota Department of Revenue and tax software companies have updated their software to reflect the new law changes that increase the refund amount for homeowners and renters. We did this on June 4th. Now, if a homeowner or a renter filed their 2013 property tax refund before June 4th, or if they filed a paper form M1PR with the old refund credit tables, we will review the return and increase the refund by the appropriate percentage increase. We will then send a letter explaining the increase in your new refund amount. But however, if your household income was affected by the March 21 tax law changes and you filed a property tax refund before April 2nd, you need to amend your property tax refund to receive the benefits of the March 21 tax law changes. Homeowners or renters whose household income was affected by the March 21 tax law changes that have not yet filed their property tax refund should make sure to use the new income when calculating household income. This will ensure you get the maximum refund that you're entitled to. It's a little bit more complicated this year because of the March 21 tax law changes, but the good news is that all homeowners and renters will see increases in their property tax refunds based upon the new credit tables. I want to also mention a new homestead credit refund notification process. In 2013, the legislature passed a law requiring the Department of Revenue to notify taxpayers who may qualify for a homestead credit but have not filed one in the last 2 years. There was some concern that many people qualify for the homestead credit but do not submit a refund claim for that. So if you have not filed for a homestead credit refund in the last 2 years, we will review your 2013 individual income tax information and estimate your potential 2013 refund. If the estimated refund is at least $1,000, we will send a letter to you letting you know you may qualify for a 2013 homestead credit refund. We will send these letters between August 19 and September 1 to give information to taxpayers who may be qualified for a homestead credit refund but who have not yet filed. The next category I want to talk about are farmers. The new law that was signed on May 20 provides an additional agricultural homestead credit beginning in 2014. Who qualifies? Farmers who qualify for the agricultural homestead market value credit in payable 2014 and who do not owe any delinquent property taxes. We expect about 94,000 farmers will qualify in 2014. And what do you need to do in 2014? Well, you don't need to do anything in 2014. You will receive a check for the credit amount. The maximum credit in 2014 is $205. When will you get the check? Well, we anticipate mailing the checks between October 1 and October 15, and we will send a letter to you before we send those checks. And the checks will be issued to the primary homesteader. What else do you need to know? Well, you must be sure to pay the amount on your 2014 property tax statement by November 15th. We will keep letters, and please keep letters you receive from us for your income tax records. If you itemize your deductions on your 2014 federal income tax return and you need to reduce your real estate taxes deduction by the amount of this refund, you will get a check from the state for property taxes you pay in 2014. In 2015, however, and after, the credit that has been implemented will be shown as a reduction to the amount of property tax that you pay to the county on your property tax statement. So who do I contact with questions? You must contact your local county auditor for questions on which parcels qualify or how your refund was calculated. The Department of Revenue does not have this information. A list of all county auditors' names and contact information is on our website for you to access. I also want to mention an update on the disaster relief that Governor Dayton mentioned. On Thursday, June 19th, Governor Dayton declared a state of emergency for 35 counties in Minnesota that were affected by severe weather and flooding. The governor has since extended the emergency to July 22nd. Now, last Friday, we issued a press release notifying taxpayers that we would waive penalties and interest to those affected in the 35 counties if they are unable to file and pay their taxes due during this time period. Now, qualified taxpayers just need to contact us to have the penalties and interest waived. They can call us at 651-556-3016, as you can see if you're looking online, or there's also a toll-free number for outstate Minnesota, and that is 1-800-657-3606. Now, if you're not in one of the 35 counties listed in the emergency order and you feel you are affected by the weather or flooding, you still can request that the department waive your penalties and interest, and we will review your situation. And if you are affected, we can grant that waiver on a discretionary basis. So I just want to recap what we've gone through today. The first item was the 2013 middle class tax cuts. We've completed the review of tax returns, and we've done so ahead of schedule. If you have not heard from us today, we believe that you were not affected by the 2013 middle class tax law changes. And if you have a question, you need to contact us. Now, in the property tax refunds, please file your property tax refunds now. And there are property tax refund increases for homeowners and renters, and there's a new agricultural homestead credit for farmers. And finally, the taxpayers affected by the severe weather can contact us and have penalties and interest waived for taxes that are due between June 11 and July 22nd. So stay connected by going to our website at www.revenue.state.mn.us and click on the orange tax law button at the bottom. You can also sign up for our email alerts by visiting the website and clicking on the red envelope. And what you can do there is you can select different areas of interest that you might want, subscription topics that you can indicate that you want to receive updates about. Please make sure your address is updated regularly so that we send information to you. It goes to the correct address. So that concludes the review of items I wanted to go through and bring updates on. Please feel free to send information through emails or contact us directly.